Lads, welcome to episode 13 of the Sorare Under-23 Road to Glory. We're back again with another episode. I hope you're all doing super well. I hope you had some decent luck over this last weekend. Let me know how you got on in the comment section. Did you win any rewards? Did you win any ETH? Because I can tell you, lads, that I didn't. If you are completely new to my channel, lads, and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you do enjoy the series, please do always give it a like. It does always mean a lot to me. Last week, I announced a member section to my YouTube channel, and I just want to say a massive thank you to those of you who've decided to become a member. Honestly, I am blown away with the amount of you guys that have decided to support me. It honestly means so much to me, lads, genuinely. Does it really have to hail whilst I'm filming this video? Lads, you're gonna have to bear with me. To become a member, lads, is £4 a month, and for that, I will build your Sorare lineup for you every single week. There'll also be a weekly scouting session for members, and each month I'll review your gallery to see where you need improving most. That is the intro out of the way, lads. Let's get into things. So, would you have guessed it, lads? Another L. Another fat L for us. If it's not two players letting us down, lads, it's obviously one, right? This week, Jorgen Larsen steps up with a -10 from two big chances. Missed. Jesus Christ. Larsen, you are killing me. Genuinely. -11.5 all-round score. If he scores one of those chances, we basically win our first reward. We're 39 points or 40 points away from a tier 5. It's just heartbreaking, lads, to be honest, because the rest of the team, like, semi-showed up, to be honest. Monchu got his goal. Eccles, to be fair, was a weird one. He came off the bench at half-time. I really didn't expect him to start on the bench. I don't know what went on there. But 20 AA in one half of football was decent enough. You know, as my captain, it's okay. It kept me in it. Obviously, Larsen decided to miss two big chances. Klein Hansel back to business, 29 AA for him in a 1-1 draw. And then Campos, his team lost, but he still got a nice 20 AA to keep us in it, 288.61 points. So obviously not good enough. You know, we're always around that 300 mark. The scores required this game week feel a little bit lower than usual. For example, 69 points away from a tier 3. We would have needed just under 370 points for a tier 3, which seems okay. But of course it wasn't to be. Larsen let us down, lads. And you know, I've just lost full faith in him, lads, to be honest. I really have. Our Cap 240 attempt wasn't much better either, to be honest. Campolat with a nothing score. To be honest, what was it? A -1 AA. His team won 4-2, but, you know, conceding 2 goals is never ideal. Jasper Darland did start captain, but, you know, in a 3-0 loss. I knew Anderlecht would score a few goals here. I didn't expect 3, and yeah, I kind of expected Darland's AA to be a little bit better. Same for Ivan Heel on his debut. 12 AA in a 1-0 loss. Shot on target, attempted assist. He kind of did what we expected him to do, but just at a lower volume, which is, you know, kind of expected. Like, he's away from home. It is what it is, right? I wasn't expecting the world from him, hence why he was demoted into the Cap 240 lineup. Mohamed Cham with a 6.3 AA. Clement Foot just can't score for love or money right now. So, yeah, he's struggling to obviously get decisives. And then Duhara didn't start. I kind of expected that. I thought he would come off the bench. He did. They got a 3-0 win away from home. And yeah, obviously there was no place in the starting 11 for him. And we were, what, 62.75 points away from that $5. We've yet to win the $5. We've yet to win a card, obviously, lads, as you'll know, which is, you know, bitterly frustrating for me. We've been close in the Under-23 Limited. We were actually quite close last week, honestly, in the Cap 240 Limited. But I am hoping this week our fortunes can change. It does feel like the fixtures for both lineups could line up pretty nice for us. So we're going to jump in to Play Sharper and have a little look at the expected scores of our guys, and are they down to start. So at the top of our list, I mean, before I get into this, if you want to get into it, all you have to do is click expected scores on the left-hand side on Play Sharper over here, and it will give you, yeah, all the data you need. Expected scores, the starter predictions, and his chances or the probabilities of that player, you know, receiving a 60+ score, a 90+ score, and getting a decisive, which is always quite valuable, you know, as far as information goes. So at the top of the list, we've got Klein Hansel, 90% on to start. away from home to a team that are fighting relegation, as is, Klein Hansel's team. Madsen, lads, a massive turn of events here. Can I just point you towards Nicholas Madsen on a little side note? So, exiled from the team, as we kind of know, over the last couple of weeks, but out of nowhere has started the last 2 games, and he's back on penalties. He's back on pens. He got an 87 last weekend. Obviously, I didn't use him because I didn't really expect him, even though he started the game before that against USG. He'd only had started 1 game. It was a bit of a risk to start him again, but they did. They got the win. He got a 27 AA, by the way, which is very, very interesting. 2 tackles, 1, 2 shots on target, and a couple of attempted assists. I think his price is at like £1, yes, £1.62, which is frightening. What do we pay for him? We paid like, £12 at the start of the season. So, I've been unlucky with his situation in that sense. I don't think he would be that cheap. I don't think he should be that cheap right now, to be honest. And if you have a look at his next fixtures, lads, St. Truden, Charleroi, Anderlecht, Kortrijk, Eupen, Antwerp, and Molenbeek in the next 7 fixtures seem pretty tasty for me. And if he's, like I said, back in the squad, he's definitely in with contention of starting for us. So he's at 70%, which we love to see. A very high expected score from him. Josh Eccles is at 54 and a 70% starting percentage, which is decent. Ivan Heel is up there as well. They have a home fixture. Monchu is away from home. Mohamed Cham is at home to Lorient, which honestly is a good fixture. But like I said, Clement Foot just cannot score right now. Kampelat is at home, which I do like. He's 80% on to start as our goalkeeper, which is nice. We normally use him in Cap 240. Big thanks to Germ for donating him to the series. But this week, I think he could get the call up to the under-23 limited squad. Driouech actually played last week. I didn't expect him to. Play Sharper took him out of the predictions, but he played. I think he got injured in the midweek, but he was fine. So 90% on this week against Utrecht, which is a very, very good matchup. Badgie at 25%, we won't be trusting him. Mateus Ryu, the predictions haven't yet come out for him, but he did play this last weekend. He didn't score very well, but he did play. Balki's 90% on, Duhara's 30% on to play. Suzuki came off the bench last weekend. Jorgen Larsen is at 75% away to Bilbao. I don't really love that fixture. And then Campos is 90% on to start for his club, but they are away to Sporting Gijón, which isn't a good matchup at all. And Jasper Darland is playing in the Bruges derby away to Club Bruges. I am definitely not playing him in that fixture. So yeah, those are the expected scores and the start predictions. We're going to get into some lineup building, lads. Kicking us off with under 23 limited. And like I just mentioned, Kampelat does have the superior fixture this weekend for us, over Campos. So that kind of means I'm forced to play him in the under 23 limited lineup, lads. The opposition scores really high. Clean sheet probability of 26% isn't crazy high, but it's a lot higher than 15%. So Kampelat fits in nicely there. As our defender, we mentioned obviously Klein Hanselat probably has the best fixture. I'm not touching Darland. Mateus Ryu, he's away from home. Like I said, he was in and out. It's just not really worth the risk for me. Balki, decent enough. I think he got an assist actually on the weekend, Balki, which was nice to see. Not much of an AA score, but they beat Besiktas. They beat Besiktas 3-2. He got the decisive assist, which, made it 3-2. Not much of an AA score, obviously, conceding 2 goals as a defender isn't going to be that fruitful for your AA. So yeah, he's in contention for me. I can't lie, but Klein Hansel with the double A pick score kind of takes that defender spot for me right now. In midfield, honestly, we're quite blessed with options now. Madsen's back into the fold. Eccles, Cham, Heel, and Monchu. All with decent matchups. Monchu's away from home, albeit against Racing. It is a decent matchup. I'm not in love with it by any means. Ivan Heel's matchup is talking to me a little bit, to be honest. A 23%, 3 goals scored, and a 59 average opposition score, which is quite high, to be honest. Chams is at 62 actually, for players in his position that play against Lorient. Madsen, though, at home to Saint Truden, it is kind of calling my name. He's on penalties, obviously back into the side, scored last game. It's basically out of Madsen, Eccles, and Heel for me. Even though Monchu shows up as sort of the best pick score, he has been on, good form recently. I can't lie. But, the fixture isn't incredible. And if you have a look, if we go into Monchu's scores, we'll have a look at his scores away from home. The most he's scored so far this season is 61. And that was a 1 AA and an assist, right? In a 1-0 win. So basically what I'm getting at is Valladolid aren't great away from home. All his peaks have come from, home fixtures. So that's why I'm not in love with playing Monchu this weekend. I want to focus my energy on some of these home fixtures. Madsen, it's Madsen, Healer, Eccles, like I said, they're all at home. All have good matchups, honestly. I think Madsen takes the first spot. Larsen's at, an A pick score. Away to Bilbao, which I do not love at all. And obviously, right now, he couldn't score in a brothel. So, Druich probably takes that forward position. And then, for the extra, I'm leaning towards Eccles. Just because of his high L15, he's probably not going to be much use to us in Cap 240. Whereas Ivan Heels is 47. And I don't really like normally prioritizing, my least prioritized lineup, i.e. Cap 240 limited, before this lineup. I want to go with the strongest 5 here, but that L15 is just useless for me in Cap 240. And I'm referring to Eccles is L15. So I think he probably has to slot in there. And as our captain, I think Klein Hansel, after his good AA performance last week, they're playing away from home, but it is a really good fixture. And I fancy him and his team to get me some really good AA and hopefully, obviously, a decisive as well. So that probably concludes the under-23 limited build. Going into Cap 240, that is obviously going to leave us with Campos in goals. In defence, Balki kind of screams out quite comfortably here for me. Away from home, but a decent enough matchup. And more often than not, I do trust Balki. In midfield, Monchu does have a very high L15, so it might be pretty tough to fit him in. Obviously, we're going to go with Jürgen Larsen up front because he's probably the only starter left of our forwards. And then we have 96 points left to fit in, our 2 midfielders or a midfielder and a defender. I think we have to play Cham. Well, we don't have to, but I think Cham and Heel, just because they fit, as far as the points go, probably make up this team. We wouldn't have the points to play Monchu, which is annoying. He's a very good player, very good scorer, but like I said, the away fixture for Valladolid specifically isn't that fruitful. So I think I'm going to go with this. 2 home fixtures, 3 away. And you know what? I'm going to captain Ivan Heel. The first time he's got the armband for the gallery, I guess. Obviously, he played last week, but didn't get the armband. He does this week. And that, lads, is probably going to be the lineups for this upcoming weekend. Let me know in the comment section if you would do anything different. I'm always open to suggestions. I'm not, dead set on these lineups. If after the video goes live, I've seen a very good comment from one of you guys, something that I might have missed. Lads, I hope you did enjoy episode 13 of the Under-23 Sorare Road to Glory. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great game week as well. And I shall see you guys in the next episode.